Hey, yo, what up, bro?
What up with it, my guy?
Man, ladies and gentlemen, just another great week of college football. We got a packed show to here to review what was week 8. So we just going to hop right into it. With that being said, my name is Corey Hilliard. The man next to me is Brandon Hill, a.k.a. B Hill. We are the house divided. Whether you've been here before or this is your first time, if it's your first time, mi casa, su casa. And whether it's your first time you've been here before, we got to hit you with the house rules.
You guys already know what time it is around here. Down there's a button, and it's red, and it says subscribe. Go ahead and hit that right now. There's another one right next to it. It's like a little bell, a little notification bell. Go ahead and hit that as well. That way you can be up to date on all our newest content that we're going to be dropping. Another thing, if you guys like the content that you're seeing, everything looks good, all that, there's a thumbs up button down there. Go ahead and hit that for us as well if you guys don't mind. And the best thing to us, and the thing that y'all don't do, so people that are viewing, we would love to hear what your comment is. Drop down there in that comment box anything you guys want to add to the show, whatever. Give us some ideas if you think we should do something new, whatever. We're always open to the comments, so go ahead and drop them down there. Man, we got this college football week 8 that we got to drop down and we got to go over. My Sooners, they were off this weekend, so it was a fairly easy weekend as far as college football goes. I was kind of able to just sit back, relax. I had to work all day on Saturday, but I did catch some games from time to time. The first game that I did want to touch on, though, was probably the best game of the weekend. In my opinion, it's not as far as rankings or whatever. Oklahoma State and Texas. OSU from home. Yeah, we're gonna start off with that one tonight, my man. That was the game right there that OSU had to have. They had to beat Texas, and they did. Quinn Ewers, I mean, he looked average, if you ask me, man. He looked like you could see why he didn't start at Ohio State. I mean, the guy was 19 for 49. 19 for 49. I didn't stutter there, folks. 319 yards, 2 touchdowns, to 3 interceptions. He had a 47 QBR, Corey. A 47 QBR. And on the other side, Spencer Sanders comes out and puts up a gem. 34 for 57, 391, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. It seems like Spencer Sanders always has to have one of those throughout the game, and a 71.3 QBR. So, Bijan Robinson, he had his way. You know what I'm saying? And you guys were kind of like a running by committee. You guys had that guy. What's Green's first name? Remind me. Y'all's receiver.
Oh, you're talking about Bryson.
That dude right there is the next thing. That's y'all's next. Elaborate on him, please. He's
a sophomore from Allen, Texas, man. Dude can play. He's not the fastest guy, not the biggest guy. He's only like 6'1", I think like 205, probably 210 pounds. But he's just got this uncanny thing, man, when he gets the ball in his hands, bro. And he runs really crisp, good routes. So what he lacks in speed, he's not a terrible athlete. I'm not saying he's slow or anything, but you can just tell by the way he runs his routes, the way he competes for the ball when it's in the air, and the way he breaks tackles. His run after the catch ability is just off the charts. And so that's what makes him special.
Man, I'm so happy he was special in this game because y'all beat Texas and brought Texas fans and all there. They actually thought they had a chance to go to the college football playoff out here.
Oh, they're still talking about it.
No way.
They're saying, is there any way a 3-loss Texas can get into the CFP, dog? And I'm like, bro, y'all got to let that thing go. Bro. That dream's over for the year.
It's over. Texas is not back. I tried to tell everybody that just because they beat Oklahoma the way they did, that doesn't mean anything. You beat a wounded Oklahoma football team. You didn't even beat Oklahoma at their best. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you beat them 49-0, but Texas is 5-3, Corey. They're not even ranked no more. I love it. Oklahoma We're not doing any better, but hey, as long as Texas ain't doing nothing crazy, I'm all right, man. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I'm at.
Heck yeah.
So kudos to your Cowboys, man. 6-1. I believe y'all went up to number 9 in the rankings, if I'm not mistaken. They got TCU at number 7 as far as the Big 12 is concerned.
That's not a bad deal, man. No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's a pretty. We've been very fortunate with the poll voters, because we were number 8 when we lost to TCU, and then we only dropped down to number 11. Then we get a win against a 20-ranked Texas and jump back up 2 spots. So basically, we didn't really lose that much ground if you're talking about seeding poll-wise for that CFP down the road. If we're lucky,
you're fine. You're fine.
But here's the thing, man. In a preview show, we talked about Texas's talent. They always every year they feel the more talented team than we do. But penalties, 14 penalties for 113 yards to our 0 penalties for 0 yards. That was one of the big factors.
That's huge.
And the second thing, bro, if you're Texas, Bijan Robinson, right, and Roshan Johnson are absolutely gashing the OSU defense in the first half.
And they go
31 points in the first half. Guess how many carries Roshan had second half? 1.
Probably not very many. Yeah.
1. Bijan had 5 carries in the second half. Dog, if you're Sark, what the hell are you doing?
He does that.
Why would you go away from the hand that's been feeding you the whole game?
He did that last year against us in the Big 12. In the Red River game. He did the same thing. Like in the first half, Bijan was gashing us just like he was against y'all. And then the second half, he's like non-existent because they're not calling his number no more. And the problem is they probably should have been calling his number, because all Quinn Ewers was doing was overthrowing every single receiver he was throwing to. I think they talked about he had like 11 straight incompletions or something crazy like that. And like it doesn't say the targets on here, but I think like Xavier Worthy had like 12 or 13 targets and only caught 4 of them. So that can't happen when you have weapons like what they have. You cannot be missing them like that.
He's still a young guy, man. Like that was his very first ever road start in college. He didn't play at Ohio State. He only played 2 plays there his whole time at Ohio State.
Right.
He didn't play his senior year at South Lake Carroll. So you're talking about a guy who really hadn't played a road game in like almost 3 years. And Stillwater's a sneaky hard place to play for some teams if we're good, right? And then you had the wind. The wind was 20 to 25 miles per hour. And most people don't realize about Boone Pickett Stadium, it's an east to west layout. It's not north-south. So the wind there, Oklahoma, where the wind comes rolling down the damn plains.
Yeah.
You on a windy day, bro, that ball will sail on you if you don't know what you're doing and you're not experienced. So.
Absolutely it will. You ain't lying there, man. You got anything else on this game before we move on to the next one?
Go damn Pokes.
Man, go Pokes, man. We both called that one right as well. So we both picked Oklahoma State in that one. Yeah, it's Texas horns down all day, every day around here as well, man. You already know. This next game, though, I'm going to keep it right here in the Big 12. We'll go ahead and keep this Big 12 theme going on that we got going on right now. I'd say probably the favorite right now in the Big 12, TCU, went on and handled their business again against Kansas State, another ranked opponent. Corey, did you get a chance to watch any of this game?
I got a chance to watch a lot of it.
Okay. What's your takeaways from it?
Jeez Louise, man. TCU being down 18 points for the second week in a row. I think they were down 17 on us last week. K-State played 3 different quarterbacks. And TCU, bro, they got down by 18 points, and they just did not look phased at all. We talked about it being Halloween season. They're like Michael Myers. They never die. They really don't get rattled. Once Duggan got settled and the run game got settled, they just came storming back. And it was very unfortunate for Kansas State because, what's the quarterback's name?
Oh, Howard?
No, the starter
Martinez, Adrian
Martinez.
Martinez. Yeah, he
He
got
was
hurt.
looking like he was about to have a really good game, and you could just tell the way the other two quarterbacks played. I mean, Martinez took all the reps during the week because he's a starter. So just think if he'd actually got to play against that defense and had a chance to do what those other two quarterbacks did. So, just I don't know. Really not much else on it. Props to TCU for coming back and then winning by 10 points. They're just a gritty team, man. They don't die. They're going to be a factor. I really don't see where they lose another game, maybe to Texas. I know they still got to play Baylor, but TCU has set themselves up beautifully for
TCU
this
ain't
last
about
little
to.
5-game stretch. You don't think they
TCU
lose to Baylor?
Neither one of those teams you just mentioned they're about to lose to.
You think they're
TCU
good here and out? They'll be undefeated in the Big 12 championship game?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
You can book it right now. Who they got left? Who'd you say?
They hadn't played Texas. They hadn't played Baylor.
So let's take a look here.
They still got to play.
They got West Virginia.
I was just about to say West Virginia.
Dub.
Yeah.
Texas Tech.
That's
At home against Texas Tech, though. That's a dub.
Golly, they catch all of these games at home.
At Texas, though, and at Baylor. Back-to-back weeks. That's tough. I'm kind of with you on that one. They could lose one or two of those games. I don't think it's the Texas. I think Baylor's a team that could sneak up and get them.
Baylor could.
But that's could. Do I think they will? No.
No.
I think, and then you got Iowa State at home.
They'll be favored in every game that they play from here on out.
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah. I don't know. I mean, crazier things have happened in college football. Anything else you'd like to touch on this TCU game, Corey?
No, that was it, man. Shouts out to the Horned Frogs, still the leader in the Big 12. So, shouts out to them. Good job. Job well done.
Hey, man, there it is, man. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? That's the sneaker team right here in the Big 12. The next game that I got on this docket, the number 9 UCLA Bruins at the number 10 Oregon Ducks. I called this one absolutely wrong. I was drinking that Chip Kelly Kool-Aid over there in UCLA world. I thought they were going to go pull up in there to Oregon and beat them, but little did I know I was completely wrong about that one. Bo Nix and the Oregon Ducks had some different plans. You know, Bo Nix, man, when he's not throwing it to the other team, he does pretty well as far as his deep ball and as far as his accuracy and stuff like that. So what's your takes on this game, Corey? Because you did call it right. I mean, my gosh, 45-30. I was freaking completely off. So
yeah, the only reason I called for Oregon is because they're playing at home. And UCLA, up until that point, hadn't really played a really hard road game yet. So as great as they've been, DTR, Charbonnet, Bobo, that big three for UCLA has been awesome. But it changes when you get to Austin Stadium out there in Oregon. So
they still balled. I mean, they just wasn't enough.
The defense is what killed him. And you hit the nail on the head with Bo Nix. When Bo Nix does not turn the ball over, he's kind of like a Spencer Sanders type. When they don't turn the ball over more than once, usually their team does pretty good. And that's what you saw. The run game for Oregon was unbelievable. They just ran the ball whenever they wanted to run the ball. And then you could tell UCLA on defense had problems just stopping them.
They weren't ready for it. They weren't ready for it.
Well, shoot, Oregon put up 28 points in the second quarter.
I already know. That's
what I mean?
Freaking nuts. That's video game numbers.
In one quarter? What I'm saying? Yeah.
That's freaking nuts. And then you put up 7 and 7 to finish off the game. And their defense, I mean, you give up 30 points, you score 45. Oregon's going to take that all day, every day. So Oregon's looking like one of those teams that's kind of the favorite right now in the Pac-12. It's Oregon and it's USC. It's both of those teams right now. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So, Oregon.
Hey, did you know this? The Pac-12, even though they have divisions, their conference championship game is by record. So it's not even by divisions anymore.
Really? I didn't
Yes,
know that. I thought it was by divisions.
that's what I thought too. But an article came out saying that they're
It's a
doing it
good
different
take.
this year. So I mean, which it should be. I mean, the divisions, we can get into a whole conversation about that. But what you're going to see now is usually most likely a USC Oregon Duck championship game, which we probably would have saw if they stuck with the divisions. But I just thought that was pretty cool that they got rid of
I,
that division crap and
that
went with
is
the two best teams.
that is pretty cool, man. Is there anything else you want to touch on this game? That was
Nope.
a great take, man.
Appreciate it.
45-30. Shout out to the Oregon Ducks. Other than that Georgia game, we always say that, so it keeps rolling.
You know?
So, all right, then on this next game, we're going to talk about it's going to be Syracuse at Clemson.
Wow. This
I can't-
game, bro.
Yeah, it was nuts.
This
Go ahead.
DJU finally got benched. We've been talking about him, me and you, this whole season, saying how we're not impressed with him. And I won't say his true colors, that's kind of harsh. He had a bad day for DJ. When you're DJU and you're in that Clemson offense and the expectations, as his skill set goes, you don't have a lot of wiggle room
Right.
to have a bad day, right? You got to be on your A game, and he was just not on his A game. Got benched for the freshman, and Syracuse is up 21-10.
I know you had texted me and you were thinking, you were like, is this going to be an upset today? That's what we were both thinking, and I was just like, I don't know, Corey. I don't know. But that's why, whenever we pick these games, that's why I said Clemson was going to win, but they wasn't going to cover. And
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right. They're good enough to beat everybody in their conference, but they're not good enough to just completely wipe the floor with all the teams, right? I mean, they only.
My theory behind it is Clemson always plays with a tough game with Syracuse. Syracuse always plays them like this every single season. So that's where I'm at with it. You know what I mean? It was just, and it was Cade Klubnik. That's the guy. That was that freshman quarterback that I was trying to think of his name that plays for Clemson. That guy is a 5-star quarterback. He was one of the top quarterback recruits in the 2022 cycle. That guy right there is a baller, Corey. He's going to be the next big thing. So, DJ Uyunglele, I think his leash has done been cut off, man. I don't think that they're going to be messing with him anymore. And Will Shipley, I'm sorry. I disrespected that man. I was saying that I didn't think he was all that good, everything else. 27 carries, 172 yards in this game for 2 touchdowns. So I'll take the blame for that one, Corey. I was completely off the wall for that take. It was not a good take at all, so I have to correct myself on that. Will Shipley is an absolute baller. So,
this play in the fourth quarter, I mean, he kind of helped turn the game around single-handedly. He had a 50-yard touchdown with about 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter that gave him the lead. So that dude's he can play, man. He can play.
They're going to the playoff.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I could see them losing You think about the wins they've had? They beat Wake Forest in double overtime or triple overtime, whichever one. They only beat Florida State last week by 6 points. Then you get this 6-point win against Syracuse. There's potential for them to be upset between now and the end of the season. I'm just telling you.
By who?
Anybody at this point. It could be
so.
anybody in that conference. I don't even know who they have left on their schedule.
Well,
if anybody can come out there and get them.
If they do lose a one-loss, when I was saying that I think a one-loss Clemson would get in, I don't believe that anymore.
There's no way.
But granted, I mean, this is a good-looking win still, though. Syracuse was 6-0, Corey. They were 6-0, and they were number 14 in the nation, and Clemson beat them.
That's a great point. We got to throw Syracuse some love for being.
So I mean, you know what I mean. This isn't your dad's Syracuse Orange at football. They were 6-0, and they were number 14 in the nation. So that's a ranked opponent. And they've beaten a couple ranked opponents. When they beat Wake Forest was ranked.
Was ranked. They beat NC State when NC State was 10
It was
in the
top
country.
10. So
what are we saying about the ACC then? Is it a legit conference, or are these Clemson wins legit, or are they fool's gold?
According to the rankings, they are. And now, if you give it the eye test, no. Is that fair? Is that a fair answer?
That's fair. No, that's fair. I think we're so used to Clemson being this juggernaut of a team the past 6-7 years that any kind of close one that they have, we kind of frown upon it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, but they just win.
You know?
They win though.
Isn't that an objective to win a game?
Isn't it one of those things you'd much rather learn lessons in a win than a loss?
Hell yeah.
It's much better going there and watching that film, knowing that you have things that you have to correct, but you won the game.
Yeah.
That always works out really good.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to cover on this one before we head on to this last game?
Nope.
Man, this last game on the docket here, we got Mississippi State at Alabama. I wasn't surprised in this one. This was kind of one of those that we threw on the docket this week just because we thought, is this going to be an upset? Mike Leach, Mississippi State Bulldogs, everything else. No. Alabama absolutely rolled, and it wasn't even close. I mean, the first half, they scored most of their points, and then it kind of seemed like they just went on autopilot in the second half. They really didn't score a whole lot. They weren't, you know what I mean? They kind of put the backups in, everything else. So, did you get a chance to watch any of this game, Corey?
I did not get a chance to catch this one. I did check out the box score. It just looked like your average run-of-the-mill game for Alabama, where they weren't spectacular. They just had better athletes. And, I mean, they were pitching a shutout damn near most of the game.
Man, until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, from what I'm looking at, Mississippi State didn't score a touchdown until 2 seconds left in the game.
I didn't get a chance to watch a whole lot of this game either, but what I'm looking at on the Mississippi State side, the guy went 30 for 60. He had 60 pass attempts, Corey. 60. Yeah. And he only completed 50% of them. That's
not
never
good.
And no touchdowns. Good. No touchdowns and no interceptions. So that means that you were driving the ball and you had a bunch of drives that just kept stalling and stalling and stalling. So I don't know, man. Nobody.
I mean, Mississippi State was never a real serious contender anyway.
Absolutely not.
They were a ranked opponent, but like you said, 50% passing is not good. They just couldn't get anything going against that defense, man.
Somebody else that ain't a good opponent or whatever is going to be Ole Miss. When we thought Ole Miss was going to be a valiant opponent.
God, yeah. They went to LSU, man, and they had a 17-3 lead. I watched some of that game, and they just got away from them real quick, bro. LSU just started pounding them, doing basically whatever they wanted. Just like, dang, really?
It surprised me. Daniels, the quarterback, man, that dude right there got some wheels on him.
Yeah.
And he was 5 touchdowns total, 3 on the ground and 2 in the air, and he didn't turn the ball over. That's big. That's big time for their young guy. You know what I'm saying? So
that's huge. Yeah, that's a huge confidence boost. They got him back into the top 25. Guess who else is in the top 25 from the SEC?
Who's that?
South Carolina. Your boy Spencer Rattler.
Stop
and the South Carolina Gamecocks have moved their way into the top 25. I can't. No. I thought you knew.
No, I sure didn't. I've kind of fallen off of the rankings whenever OU's not even in it. Wow, they are. They're number 25 at 5-2, my guy. Wow.
Look at that, bro.
Yikes. All right.
What does that say? So, are we giving Spencer Rattler a redo here? Are we starting to look at him different now?
No.
I mean, he's got his team in the top 25 in both polls, in the coaches poll.
I mean, he had us that year in 2020. We won the Big 12. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
and then they beat a depleted Florida team in the Cotton Bowl that year. So I don't know, man. I'm not gonna sit here and just have a freaking Spencer Rattler hate party. I don't hate Spencer Rattler. I just didn't think he was that good, and I thought Caleb Williams was better. Which, if you look at that, USC Trojans are number 10. So
They are.
and Caleb Williams has got much better numbers than Spencer Rattler does right now. So if we really want to talk about that, you know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with the Spencer thing. I wish him nothing but the best over there at South Carolina. No ill will. I mean, I wouldn't rather have Spencer Rattler than Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're asking me from what I've seen, as far as what Dylan Gabriel can do, Dylan Gabriel can throw the ball. When he's accurate and he can get on point, he can make some defenses pay. That's for sure. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think if Spencer would have just stuck around this year, I think y'all would just be in a better spot.
You know how crazy it is though. Is I was thinking, like, I don't know where the wins are on Oklahoma's schedule remaining.
Mm-hmm.
OU, I mean, Bedlam, that's our toughest game by far. I'm not saying that it's not, but Oklahoma State pulling up into Norman, man. I mean, you never know. You never know in that game. So if Oklahoma were able to ride this ship and go 9-3 in the regular season, would that not be a successful first season for Brent Venables? I think it would be.
I think from where it started, oh my God.
And where it was looking, where the wheels just basically fell off of everything, there was no scoring, there was nothing. I mean, the objective for them is keep Dylan Gabriel healthy because we absolutely have zero behind him. That's been proven.
What's the rest of the schedule look like for you before we?
That's why I was kind of looking. Hang on here, let me get in there.
Because you guys are an interesting case, man. It's just like, I don't know if this loser. Y'all got Iowa State
versus Baylor tough. At home, at West Virginia, a home against Oklahoma State, and then at Texas Tech.
Yeah, we are.
Those are all. I'm not saying that the only game that I'm like, I don't think we will win, but we have a chance is Oklahoma State.
Yep.
That's the only one. Iowa State, Baylor, West Virginia, and Texas Tech. I mean, Baylor's 3-3 this year, Corey. 4-3. 4-3. My
only thing I worry about with y'all against Baylor and Texas Tech is y'all's defense against those offenses, and more so Texas Tech than Baylor. I think Texas Tech has way more talent on offense than Baylor does. That's just my personal opinion.
That's fair.
I would be worried about your defenses. Scoring wise, your offense, I don't have any issues with your offense going against any defense that I see left on this. Maybe Iowa State, because they've had a pretty stout defense.
Iowa State's the sneaky one at Iowa State. That scares the hell out of me every year we try.
They've been playing good defense. I think if you look at the defensive standings or ratings or stats for the league,
the best. They're the
number
best.
One, right?
They're the best. Yeah, they're the best. Absolutely. So it's definitely going to be scary. We're going to see, but hold on though. We'll touch on that in our recap or in our intriguing matchup games. Maybe that'll be.
Yeah, throw that one on the docket
for next week. Yeah, we might as well. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, is there anything else that you want to touch on that we missed?
No, we covered all the big stuff. I think
we got it
It
all,
was a good show, man. We got it all.
That was a pretty good one. Well, guys, this is the House Divided, guys, and we signed on in tonight, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to sign on out. But don't forget, please don't forget, hop down there in that comment box. Hit that subscribe button. You might as well hit the subscribe button. I mean, my gosh, if you've been here this long, go ahead and hit it if you haven't already. And the like button, hit that as well. And the notification bell so you guys can be up to date on all our newest content. We will be coming to you guys this week with we got our NFL recap show tomorrow night. And then we're going to have our NBA recap for the first week of NBA action on Wednesday night as well. So we're going to be coming to you guys with a bunch of content, so you guys are going to want to stay in tune. Peace out to y'all. This is the House Divided. On out.
Peace.